Hi, everybody. It's me, Ryan Lambert. I am the Planetary Defense campaign lead for the Unistellar Citizen Science Network. Come here with some exciting news. We have found out that the return capsule of OSIRIS-REx is actually going to be visible for a very short amount of time before before it lands on Earth. So if you want to observe that, we wanted to make that available for you. It will be on the moving target ephemeris, and it actually is right now. However, the reason I'm making this is because it's not like our usual targets. This target, the sample return capsule, is only going to be visible for an hour or two, which is a much shorter time window than we usually have. And our ephemeris isn't really built for something where we're only going to be able to observe it for that short length of time. So one of the problems is that it has a set time length of around 10 hours. And if you go and give JPL a time after the sample return capsule has already landed, it simply will not make you an ephemeris at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our starting time to 10 hours before the sample return capsule is set to land. And I'm going to walk you through that real quick, show you how I do it, and then hopefully you'll be able to do it yourself. So let me share my screen real quick with everybody. Now, the first thing we're going to do is OSIRIS-REx capsule. That is the target that we're looking for here. So we picked that. I have here San Francisco. I don't think it's not actually going to be visible in San Francisco. This target's going to largely be visible in the South Pacific Ocean. So Australia, New Zealanders, this is for you. I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to observe from Sydney. So Sydney, New South Wales, Australia. And now we have to determine what time we're going to set for our observation. Remember, I said we want to set this time 10 hours before OSIRIS-REx lands. And OSIRIS-REx lands at 14 hours and 55 minutes UTC. So here is the crux. Here's how we do this. You're going to have to figure out what 1400 hours and 55 minutes UTC is in your time zone specifically. So for Sydney, I go to something like World Time Buddy, some kind of just time converter will work. So I've already set this up here. UTC is the time that JPL reports everything in. That's the time that we have for the capsule landing in 1455. So over here, and then Sydney, I've already entered in there. You can add in other time zones as well if you want. Just type in your city, type in wherever you are, and it will figure it out. I've used this for all sorts of places in the world. It doesn't have a problem. So 1455, we simply look at what that is in Sydney, Australia, and that is midnight and 55 hours in Sydney, Australia. So we want to move that back 10 hours. So moving back 10 hours, 24 minus 10 is 14. So 1455 Australian time, Sydney, Australian. I don't know what that time zone is called. I'm sorry, Australians. 1455, that is our beginning time. Now let's convert that into the 12-hour clock. That is 2:55 p.m. So let me type in the date that we want. 02:55 p.m. Now the ephemeris is going to think for a second. This is going to be these are very like 5-minute windows. So it's asking JPL for a lot. So don't be freaked out if it takes a minute to actually load up the coordinates for you. It's just that it's doing a lot more asking this time for this target than it usually does. All right, so it has now generated the deep links or the ephemerids that's gotten the coordinates. So you see, we're asking for 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. That's daytime. There's no way. So of course, these top deep links are going to be grayed out. They're not going to work because it's daytime for Sydney Australians in the afternoon. But if we scroll down here to the bottom, very quickly, we will find the ones that we actually want. So at 18 hours and 20 minutes or around 6:20, Sydney Australians, you'll be able to observe the sample return capsule and the deep link is there. So that works for any time zone. Give it a shot. You just have to do a few extra steps. Sorry about that. Like I said, this is kind of a unique target. We've never run into this before. And it'll be something that we can figure out in the future and get a fix for. But in the meantime, I hope this explanation was helpful for you. I'm sorry if I rambled at all. And have a good day. Happy hunting out there.